Hello there. It's Saturday, the day before Easter, and so I thought I would go ahead and prepare some baskets. I think these baskets can be great for the springtime, and you can put little plants in them, do some kind of little decoration in them and put them on the table or put them on the hutch. I think they'll be fun. Also, I thought it would be a great time on Sunday. If you are inside, wouldn't it be fun to make some baskets with the kids? It really is quite easy, and you can use any kind of paper, and you can paint with the children or whatever you like to make these wonderful baskets. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and put it down. I am Renee, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I always get tongue twisted on that one, but that's who I am, and I'm glad to be here today to show you this. Okay, so the basket is going to be right here. This is the basket that we are going to go ahead and make. And as you can see here, this is what I did with this one. We're going to make a very similar one, very, very similar. Just a few little changes. The first basket that I made was this one, which is quite a bit smaller. And what I went ahead and did is it didn't use quite the entire sheet of paper, and I went ahead and made a card to go with it, which is really sweet. As you can see here, this was the flower, and so this basket was made with the flowering foils, the specialty vellum that was part of Celebrations, so was the foils. Then I used the Fable Friends as my stamp set, and so this was a very sweet little basket and card, and would be very nice to set up as a gift for someone. So this, I will put the dimensions down for this one, and I will also put the dimensions down for the larger one, obviously. All right, but I will give them to you right now. So for this larger basket, what you do see, I did use a different set. I used the Lily Impressions DSP, which was part of Celebrations, the Lily Pad dies, which is also part of Celebrations. Then, so is this. This comes, I love that die. And then the Full of Happiness stamp set. I did use that, which came in the new mini catalog. The colors I used were basically the Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, and Pumpkin Pie. And so we're going to keep those colors pretty much. The dimensions are, you can take a standard sheet of paper, and it's going to be an 8.5 by 10.5. So you're basically taking off a 1/2 inch off of the standard sheet of cardstock. The sides, all sides, are going to be scored at 2 1/8. Okay, so all the sides are going to be scored at 2 1/8 to make this box. All right. So I like this because it uses the full sheet of paper. It's a bigger basket, and I like that also because you can put more things in it, of course. All right. So as you will see here, I'm going to start, and you will see that I scored it here at the 2 1/8. And I scored it here at the 2 1/8. Then I flipped it around and scored it at 2 1/8 and 2 1/8. So it's just 2 1/8 everywhere. So of course the sides are equal all over. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this like we would. course, you can use your bone folder if you want to make them a little stronger. These are all 2 1/8. This is the Rococo Rose paper that I am using with my Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. I think it's a great paper for this time. Now, before I go ahead, I know that the sides are going to be going up like this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and glue my pieces on now, and making sure that that's going to go up. I can go ahead and fold that, and that's the piece here is 6 1/8 by 2 inches. That's what we have. I'm going to go ahead and use my blue glue. I call it the blue glue. It is a Tombow base, but I like this one for certain things, and then I like the other one for other things. But I like this one because it gives me time. I'm not quite the pro like some people are. I need a little wiggle time to make sure I like it in terms of how it's centered. And I do like that. There you go. Then I'm going to do the other one. All right, making sure that it goes up, so that means that I can go ahead and I'm going to fold this down and then glue it as it's folded down. I'm going to try and keep that down. You see that I do use this glue. There are certain things that I like to use that glue for, and that's especially for corners. Whenever I build a basket or a box, I want to use that for gluing my corners. Since I want this upwards, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I place that up. Got still some wiggle room to make sure it's good here. There it is, there it is, I like that. So you see, so now I know both sides are up, all right? So then I'm going to glue this side, doing the same way. I'm going to have that down, I'm going to glue it up, all right? And so this one is going to be the 2 inches by 4. This is 2 by 4, all right? So it's just 2 by 4. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, just add my glue. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, making sure it's facing up. You don't want to make that mistake. There you go. That's the next one. And then I'm going to do my last one. Make sure it's facing up. So when I do it, I push this down, and then this is how it would look. Okay? So again, push that down and I glue it that way. So that's facing you so you can see. All right, I'm gonna glue this. And I'm gonna put that so it's facing up. Now I talk to myself also, so this is always good to do these, because again, just getting that centered correctly. That's why I love this glue. For these kinds of things that I worry about the centering, I really like this glue, and it adheres just as well and just as nicely as your classic Tombow. This is great, but it does get really sticky, and the best of the best get sticky fingers with that. All right, so now what are we going to do next? Well, if you look at the template, what you're going to do is you are actually going to cut all the 4 corners, all right? Now, if you look, how we cut those 4 corners is we don't take it all off. We leave about 1/4 of an inch. You want to cut up and leave about 1/4 of an inch. I'm not too particular. I know visually how that looks, so I'm not too worried about that. So all you want to do is you want to cut these 4 corners. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to go what I think is a quarter, and you know, I do want to leave it because of course I want to make sure it's not like an eighth, it is a quarter. As I said, it's not too particular, but still it's about a quarter. Not too little, because then you won't have anything to glue to, because what you're going to do here, let me show you how this works. Let those fold in, and then you glue it like that. They come together, which is really nice. I don't know if you can see that, maybe this way would be better. Then those two just come together. I don't know if you're getting a shadow. I think you're getting a shadow. Maybe a shadow. There, that is, just to show you how that comes together. There it is. Do you see that? See that? So those just come together. All right. I don't know if that's too much of a glare or not. We'll see. Maybe that is better. All right. So again, about a quarter. You definitely want to do that quarter because they have to meet and glue together. So that is important. And I'm just doing the 4 corners. And if I didn't cut enough, obviously I can go back and cut a little more. So less is more. That's the saying. Less is more, because you want to make sure you have enough to glue. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I glue those corners up. I'm going to show you one, and since it's going to take some time, I will show you the first one and the last one because I don't want to take up too much time. But you can see how that is just coming together. Like, that's a beautiful corner. And so what I do is I glue one of the sides. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue one of the sides. And I am, as you noticed, using the sticky glue because it's a corner. And these are great for corners. Now, hopefully I didn't put too much in there, but I don't think so. Oh. So now I'm bringing them together. Sorry. Now I'm bringing them together. And I'm just holding it. I'm just bringing the edges together. So again, here on that inside, I just went ahead and held that and held it to one of the sides, whichever side it wants to be held at. You know, I didn't, you know, it doesn't, you know, it has 2 corners it could go to. Well, just whichever corner is happiest is where I put it, and then hold it down. That's all it is. So again, just one more time. On the outside, you're going to glue right here. Like, it's hard to show you this one. Maybe I could just bring it up. And maybe that, if I turn that down, that'll be better. Maybe this will be better. Yeah, maybe so. All the way to the corner. Yes? Then just bring it together. Just fold it down. Hold it. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. Hold it so you can see. Hold it. I just folded it on the inside. Like that. Yeah, that's better. I don't know why I couldn't. But you can see that now. All right. See? That's all you got to do. Makes a nice little fold. Very easy. My last one. Again, I can't pull it too much, but here it is. I'm just taking one all the way to the corner, putting a bead of glue down there, just a small bead of glue. Tombow is best. I'm just going to bring the corners together and then hold on the inside. Just putting my finger there and holding it down. Right here I'm putting my finger and holding it down. Yes? Okay. Making sure it's glued well. Okay, so look at that. See? Look at how easy that box is. Look at how easy. Your box is already almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and use just the DSP, which is 12 inches long, just the DSP to glue inside for the handle. And what I like to do is I am going to use the dies from that Lily Pad dies, and I am going to glue those down. So I'm going to go ahead and take those and center these. Now again, with this one, which glue would I use? I'm going to use the blue, just to make sure that I have enough room. Now the way I do this is I just look, I look here at my glue, I give it a dot, and then with this one's pretty good because it does have a center that I can glue right here. So that's good, and if I wanted to glue a tip, I could. I could just, I don't really push the glue out at this point since I've had it from here. I might just touch, but not much, to be honest. Then I'm going to center this. I want this centered, equidistant on both sides. So that would be about there. Whoop-a. A little bit more over. About there. I haven't pushed it down, so that's really kind of good. Yeah, I can go over just a little bit more. Just trying to center it. Yeah, that looks good. Do you see that? So just trying to center it. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more over. A little bit more over. Not that much. And I'm going to center it on the ribbon. And then I'm going to press down. That's what I like about this glue. It doesn't right away mess up. There you go. There you go. So now I did my first half here, just like that. Making sure that it's straight. See, there's not much glue here, so what I'm going to do is my little dot. I just do a little dot. And I'm going to put it right there. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. So nice. Now I'm going to put my other piece. And this, of course, will be easier. I only cut 2 of them because of the way I'm going to glue it down. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. All right. Now, for your handle, all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it down and down on the inside of your box. All you're going to do is put it in the center on the inside. Now again, here I want it to stick, and I want it to stick fast. Well, actually, maybe not, because sometimes the handle has a tendency to move around. So maybe I will do it here. So I'm just going to put this at the bottom here. Just going to put it at the bottom. And I think like that and like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So there, so I put that right there in the center. Whoop. That's the thing with that glue. I would say I went a little bit over a half down. You hold this. I glued it, and now you just hold it, and you have to wait. You do have to wait with this, okay? Because that's the blue glue. The blue glue does not what the other one does. And then I'm going to go ahead, yeah. And as you see, it's not quite, there you go, it's not quite halfway down. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the end. Just glue that end, just like I did the other one. I don't go all the way up, I just glue the end. And then I'm going to try and make it as even as I can. Halfway in between, and hold, and hold. So So I went down a little bit more than halfway, I would say. A little bit more than halfway on both sides. Okay. Waited a little bit. I think we're good. I think we got our handle. All right, so the next thing is our, the next thing, I'm going to put this to the side for right now. And the next thing I'm going to show you is the little birdie that we're going to add to the side of that, and how we do that. This is great. So I don't have the dinosaur eggs. What I do have is bee bundle, so that I could die cut this out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this works and how you get there. So you take your egg from your Full of Happiness set, and you go ahead and I place it right here. Now it is not a perfect fit, I will tell you that. It's probably maybe a 32nd off, maybe a 16th. But when you place it on here, you won't even notice and it won't even matter. But I want to show you that's how off it is, right there. And the reason I have it all on one side, well, there's a little bit on this side also, if you can see, but not too much. But I centered this hole with this indentation because of how I'm going to cut it. So this hole and this indentation here is what is going to need to be lined up. That is important. Okay, so I got that done. And so I am going to take my ink, which is my Coastal Cabana ink. And I'm going to pick this up and place it on here. Add my Coastal Cabana ink to my egg. Really cute. And then I'm going to go ahead and line it up so that the indentation of the cracked egg is along with the indentation of the little bee hut. And then I'm going to do the best I can to make it centered throughout the whole hut. And then I'm going to push down. And there you go. There you can see what I did. Sometimes when I do the dies, I like to push it down a little bit. And there you go. Again, it's fine. It's not totally centered, but it doesn't matter because I can simply cut off that little piece up here just fine. Just round it off. And then here what I do is I simply follow the triangles and cut those triangles up and down. So I go down, there's a little peak, go up, down, up, down, up, and then down, and then the final up. And there I have my egg. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. Isn't that great? Of course, I have my chamois, which I love my chamois, to wipe off my, just these car chamois, you know, clean it off your stamp right away. Now, the next thing that you have on here is the check, and I do use the check and its beak. Its beak is really small in here. It's right here. It's right there. And then here's the little chick. And what I do with that is I have, let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So what I do with that is I use my crushed curry and I go ahead and stamp him right on here. Then what I do, I use my Stampin' rights and I take the Stampin' right, and the one I used I'm pretty sure is called Pumpkin Pie, and then I will take that end and color that in and go ahead and stamp his mouth. All right? If I don't like something, the outline or anything else, I go to the other pen of the Pumpkin Pie and I just go ahead and color in that edge just a little bit. What I do with the eyes, they do have the eyes in here, but I use the basic gray. Which one do I use actually? Yeah, basic gray. And I actually take this end, I do use this end, and I color in the eyes. I don't feel like I need to go ahead and use the stamp, although it's there and you can, and it works real well. And then of course, I cut out my little chick. And then once he's cut out, anything you feel like you want to fine tune, of course, you can. And you can go ahead then and glue him on there however high you like. So you just glue him on there however high you like. And you're all set to go. And that's what I did with this one. Except I used Coastal Cabana for the eyes. All right, so that is all the stamping you have to do. So now, what we do is we go ahead and I'm going to decide which is my front, which side I like better. And I have decided that this is my better side. They look both pretty good, but I'm going to use that side. And I simply take, of course, a dimensional. And once I have my dimensional, I'm going to put it on my little egg and put it on there. Now that was an end piece of a dimensional. So all I did was get that dimensional. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick him on here, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and stick him on. I did use a little flower there from one of my other kits to put on there, and I think I put them too low, so I'm going to go up here. Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that. That's better. Just stick them on there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, if you look at my basket, the lily pad dies, I went ahead and cut out a large lily, a small lily, and then one lily pad here. I went ahead and used a lily pad to put a lily to put right there, the smaller one, a smaller lily to put right there, and then just two of them. I did not use the green. I just didn't feel like it was necessary. We'll see if it is or not. But basically, all I'm going to do now is glue these on here and arrange them so that they look nice. And so I'm going to try and make this higher so that maybe you can see better, since it's not lying flat. But I go ahead, obviously it probably would have been easier when it was flat, but that is okay. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this. That's all you need here. You don't need to do much. You just go ahead and now glue this on. To me, it makes no difference whether it's flat or like this. And I'm going to glue this on. Now the way I do this is I just have a little dot and then I just start spreading that dot all around here. That's all I do is spread the dot. That's all I do is just spread that dot of glue. And I'm just going to place it where I want it, just like there. And then I'm going to place the little one right next to it, just right there. And just put it on. It doesn't need much pressure. And there you go. There that is. That's all there is to it. Then on this side, all right, I'm going to do the same thing with the small lily. I'm going to take a small lily, and I'm just going to go ahead and place that small lily right here at that edge. That's what I liked. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to place it right at that edge. And so I'm going to take the glue again, just make a little dot, and then I start spreading that dot around. So I just make a little dot. Hard to see where this is. Sorry, guys. Again, something. Just take a dot and spread it. I'm not even pushing any more on my glue at all. I'm just spreading it all over as gingerly as I can. And then I'm going to take this and just put it right down here as my little, at my handle, basically. Just like that. That's all it is. And then I'm going to take my other one and do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to take a dot of glue, and then I just start spreading that dot of glue. I'm going to go to that other edge, just like this edge where the handle is, and I'm just going to put that down there. And that's all I'm going to do. And that's that. Then the back side, I did want to have something on the back side. I did use the lily pad, so I will do that. I'll probably put it somewhere in the middle here. And so I'll put that, I'll glue that down. I will check before and make sure I like what I see. So I'll take that lily and that one and just put them off there. Put them in the center. Yeah, I like it. It's very simple, very easy. So I'm just going to put, now I put some of this glue again. This glue, put it right in the center like. Just like that. Then take a dot. And then I smear that dot all around. Just smear the dot all around. That's all I'm doing, smearing that glue everywhere I can smear it, because there's tons in that dot. And it goes far and wide. But I prefer this glue truly to do this also. I prefer this glue over the other glue because of the way it, so there's that. And then the last one. Oop, let's not use the wrong side again, just a dot. Now I did keep that piece in there that was supposedly die cut out. I do that sometimes because I like it. I do that on purpose. See, not all of it's pushed out. And then I go right up here with that. Put that right there. On this one, I don't know if I should put a third one. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I do have some bees from the honeybee set. I had contemplating putting a bee on here. But I don't think a bee would work here. Do you guys think a bee would work? I don't think a bee would work. I would love to put the bee on here somewhere, but I don't think the a bee would work. But it would be cute. A gold bee. Would a gold bee work? Little gold bee right at the center there. Little gold bee, maybe. Little gold bee, maybe here. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. Little gold bee right there. No. I don't think so. I think this is all it is. All it is. Any decoration can go on here. Doesn't have to be a chick egg, but for tomorrow, you could put some more flowers on the front and use it as a centerpiece for the springtime. Put a little shredded colored paper, if you like, in here. A few little succulents in here. You know, they sell those little mini succulents, and you could put those in here, and that'd be really cute as a centerpiece, I would think. So there you go. I think that's it. And if you check below, you will go ahead and see my site where you can go ahead and buy the different items that are now for sale. If obviously these items are no more for sale, but if you have them, you can obviously make yourself a basket with this. Of course, there are many things, many kinds of DSP that you could use. Garden Lane is one of them that's really nice. The Poppy Designer Series papers, also really nice to use with this. Those are just some of the ones I can think of. The Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. So right now there are tons of designer papers that you can use and make this. I'm not sure if I told you how long the band was. The band is a 12 by, I believe, 1.5 inches. That's the width of it, and the length is 12 inches so that you get a nice basket. It is nice to use the designer series paper because you can get that length unless you have your colored stock by 12 by 12, so you can use that also. All right, that's it. There we go. Happy crafting, happy spring, happy Passover, happy Easter for all of you. I hope that this time that you do get to spend with your family is very special and loving. All right.